Hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Genshin Impact in the latter half of 2.0, where we finally are getting Yuimiya and Sayu, the characters I've been waiting for such a long time. Although, my dudes, there is anxiety within the air because there are rumors that there's going to be a Ganyu and whatnot rerun, and then we also got Ball coming out really soon. So it's a lot, especially for your boy who is currently sitting on, what is it, 28,000 Primo Gems and 19 wishes. But by the way, this is Yuimi's banner. By the way, I never made a video talking about it specifically. We do stream on the weekends, so I talk about it there. But I think this banner is great. Arguably, whether you have Yuimi as strong or all that stuff is yeah, there's a debate there. But as far as this banner, it's fantastic. I don't know what people are on about. I feel like people are trying to justify their actions, but it's not like this has a bad action. Or at least it doesn't seem like that to me, but I'm open to being wrong. I don't think I am, though. But Diona is one of the best supports in the game. She's like the only second choice to Bennett, who doesn't amplify your damage, but instead just gives you a shit ton of safety. Great. Also gives you Elemental Mastery, which in a weird way does amplify your damage now if you have certain characters that can benefit from Elemental Mastery. So, yeah. Anywho, Sayu is looking fantastic and looks like a different variant of a nice, cooler Bennett with a mobility skill instead of an E that builds stacks of alt. But anyways, yeah, Sayu looks fantastic. And then we have Shengyan, yeah. She's okay. Not great, crazy. We'll show you guys. But yeah, they need to come out with an artifact set that is tailor-made for a weird variant of her build that makes her good, which I think they'll probably do sooner rather than later. But right now, she's kind of just okay. If you do want, you can make anything in this game work. It's just arguable, but how much investment, time, and effort it takes to get something to quote-unquote work. So just take that into the swing of things. But we also have Yuimiya, which I've been seeing videos of people saying they love her, they hate her, she's really divided. If she gets a buff, I'm all game. If she doesn't, I'm gonna try to, like I said, you can make any character in this game work. I'm gonna try to make her work, okay? No matter what, I full simp, okay, for Yuimiya. Now, let's see if the test run was just, this thing right here, was just, you know, a bad built Yuimiya, and not just a bad built character. So let's do that. For those of you guys who do not know what we do here, this is us jumping into the test run, trying to understand the little tiny nuances of the new characters, and trying to understand them and see what their capabilities are, and hopefully they built her really, really well. I'm kind of assuming that they did, because I think what they were trying to do in the story test run for Yuimiya is they were trying to basically like show you, like intrigue you, but not give you the whole pie. Because when you know what character's max potential, they kind of start dwindling out because you're like, okay, I know what their skill ceiling is. But they didn't give her a Pyro Cup, and they didn't give her a good artifact set. But alas, let's see. I do have some thoughts on Yuimiya even out the cuff, so, but yeah. Anyways, Yuimiya's skill converts her normal attack to do blaze arrow damage, doing pyro damage basically. She's think of her E like a Hu Tao E, except from a ranged bow arrow, which I'm sure is going to be strong. Okay, so screw all this. We're just gonna go a quick TLDR for her skills. Actually, let's take it slow, baby. We got time. All right, there's gonna be plenty of things to ball and all that. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is one of, if not my favorite character design in the entire game. I think she looks absolutely wicked. Love the tattoos. Love the like hairstyle, like the big ass bow that looks weirdly like erect all the time. A little weird on that front. But yeah, no, Yuimiya's design is fantastic, and I cannot wait to spend a lot of time looking at a wonderful character in all of her glory. Simping real hard. Next thing, what is Yuimiya? What is she gonna do? What is she supposed to do? All of these things. Well, first things first, what her skills do. Basically, she has this, which is just a very fast attacking archer character, where you're going to predominantly be doing a lot of this, not aim shot necessarily, but she does have a unique aim shot. But anyways, her normal attacks are what we're going to be seeing a lot of, and as you guys can see, she attacks like a bullet train, just super quick, super consistently, tons of damage being pumped out. So be careful when you see her damage, because her damage, she's not a character that is ever going to get like a Ganyu level screenshot of you doing like 80k or some crazy shit, or 100 whatever, million damage, whatever, because she is going to attack so damn quick. So you're going to be seeing 15k probably pretty consistently, and a boss melting. It's damage per second, not damage per hit. Just be careful with the gameplay that you see out there. Anyways, her E is basically like Hu Tao's E, where she does a fire dance, and now all of her skills are now fire-based. Not only that, but they have a huge surge in their damage. Now, the only thing that's really negative about this skill is when it does stop, it stops for about 6 seconds to 7 seconds of downtime, which is quite a bit. Yeah. Now, good news is, unlike Hu Tao, Eula, well, no, they're kind of similar shades, but basically has an ult that isn't just kind of like a quick heal with a good bit of spicy damage like Hu Tao, but she has kind of a support ult where she is going to basically tag an enemy, and every single time another character hits that enemy, it's going to detonate and cause an explosion, like a firework explosion. Fantastic. But that's also is only detonated by other characters, so Yoimiya can't benefit from this. This is easily patched by any of the thousands of characters, like the main traveler that everyone has at this point, the Electro main traveler that has an ult that detonates and gets you the ability to deal damage outside of Yoimiya, constantly able for you to detonate the blaze and even give you overload. And yes, Baido is a great option with that as well. Anywho, so the reason why I brought up Hu Tao being a little weird with Yoimiya is because Hu Tao, you have to build a team around the fact that she loses health, but you also want her to not have health. Yoimiya conflicts a little less than Hu Tao, but Hu Tao's great. It's just she has a lot of shit that you need to build around. Yoimiya only really has the detonation aspect of her ult. But I do think, unlike Hu Tao, which very much felt like a lot of limiters were taken off, does have constraints and kind of is weirdly spread thin. The reason why I bring up her being spread thin is because her charge attack. Again, miHoYo is really good about making some of the coolest attacks in the game, i.e. Zhongli's attack combination, and for you to never ever see it. Ever. Like, why? But okay, anyways. So yes, this is Yoimiya's charge attack. You fire 3 arrows that heat seek on enemies. And boy howdy, does that heat-seeking ability suck out a lot of the damage. But anywho, let's get into Yoimiya's skills. Also, just in case you didn't believe me, here's what her skills say. Again, also, one thing to note is when you activate her E, you cannot use her charge attack, which you're arguably weirdly not supposed to use unless you build her for very specific artifact sets and weapons. But they're all new Inazuma weapons that no one has built yet, so yeah. Well, not all of us, but I have a lot of them. Anyway, regardless, her talents are all level 8, and as you guys can see, they scale okay. It's not crazy, but it's the best for what we've seen for an archer in a long time, outside of her charge attack, which you guys can see her full charge arrow aim shot is dealing almost 200 damage. That's like somewhat, well, not really, but let's just say somewhat like Ganyu. Also, I've been saying Eula. I meant Ganyu this whole time. Forgive me. Anyways, but your charge attack is the 1 arrow. Her kindling arrows, which you're firing 4 of, barely break like 110 or something. So it's just, that's a little unfortunate. Anywho, also, again, this is on a mad long cooldown, which just seems like, yeah, 8 seconds of cooldown. It just seems too much. Hopefully that, I don't know. I hope it gets tweaked, because it just does seem too much. But anyways, not that she's able to do damage, just that you're sitting with your thumb up your ass for majority of the time, which is unfortunate. As for passive talents, again, how Yoimiya works is you're basically going to use her E, shoot a bunch of enemies. This is going to build up more pyro damage, which is what this does, and at max stacks, 10 stacks, it is going to increase the attack of all of your parties when you use your ult. So basically, use your E, hit some shit, use your ult, and that's going to buff up all of your attack for everyone on your team, which is good, which is a kind of, yes, Yoimiya is kind of made to be like like switch off of her and then play a different character, switch off of her, etc. Which I think a lot of people are kind of like, well, this is just awful. Like, I don't want to not play the person. And her other talent is as simple as just gives you some more refunds materials like wood when you make something in your teapot. How did they build her? So first of all, I knew they were going to do this. Yes, they're giving her every set that can benefit her. So bonus attack percentage with the new set, awesome. But if you do use your E, it is going to shave off 15 energy of your ult and give you 50% damage bonus to normal attack, charge attack, and plunge attack damage, which hopefully gives her charge attack some small itty-bitty bite, because God in heaven, it's virtually nothing. Anyways, also, there's not a lot of time to like benefit from this outside of using your, yeah, it's weird. Like, you're not, like, the charge, she doesn't really get to make use of the charge attack because you only have like 2 seconds of downtime by when you activate your E, and then the cooldown. Anyway, that's a little fucky. Anywho, what do they got for your base skills? Yeah, so Okay. They gave her kind of a lot of crit damage, which is what you're gonna kind of want to do with Yuimiya. At least that's what I think, because Yuimiya, you don't need a lot of crit rate because you're attacking so quickly. So if you play a character like Gon, you're going to need when your giant hit sniper bullet hits, you're gonna want it to hit hard. So you want a good bit of crit rate. With Yuimiya, you're firing so fast that you can kind of take a loss if you miss one, because 2 crit damage could proc, and that's good enough. Also, they gave her a Pyro Cut, which is fantastic, and yes, so now we should be seeing Yuimiya probably, I'm assuming it's like 15k, is what I'm going to think we're going to be seeing. Hopefully, I'm not wrong. We also have some support characters. Again, with the way Yuimiya works, there's a lot of debate whether she should be used Vaporize, and people are saying, no, she should probably be used with Overload, and any sort of like CC kind of character that can like lock down enemies so that the overload doesn't just kick them across the screen, which is hella annoying. Also, it will help patch her weakness of not having the most AoE, but I also feel like that criticism is a little unfounded because Yuimiya herself has her ult. Her ult is very, very CC oriented, but anyways, let's see what the damage is on a passive with the white damage numbers. 3,000 is about what we've seen. Okay, 6,000 on crit. I guess it's also timing different in when the things hit, but yeah, her white damage is not good when you activate her ult. 4k? Oh, come on, hit. God damn it. 4k, 12k. Yeesh. This is also a lot of crit rate, or crit damage, and then now we're on downtime. So now that we use that, I guess we'll switch to you, and now we have bonus attack. I mean, yes, we just want to detonate this damn thing. And they gave us Shen Yan, so there's that. Anyways, we can do this. We're gonna build up stacks again so that we get bonus attack. We're gonna keep chewing up that. And then finally, when that's over, we're gonna use our ult. Then we're gonna use this. And then this. Hurry up and give my thing back. Yeah. It doesn't feel great, if I'm being honest. It doesn't feel like we're killing it. What about her, well, her charge, okay, so this is why her charge attack is just the saddest thing ever. Oh, look, 8,000, okay. So I think that is because of the bow. Also, maybe we should build up stacks with the bow first, because I think you need to get like 5 stacks before it actually starts giving you attack bonuses. All right. Is that 20k? Why is her charge attack doing good now? Weird. Oh, I think it was because that was the arrow itself. Yeah, her charge attack multiplier is not bad. It's her pyro arrows themselves, which are shit. Yeah, again, it's this which is like, oh, okay, you have 200 crit rate, or crit damage, sorry, and you're hitting for 12k. I was hoping for like 15k, but yeah, and the thing is, man, and this is my biggest, like, I'm almost, well, there's a lot of words there, nothing happened, but let's do this, like, you can absolutely make her work, and we're going to make her work, but I do feel like I feel like I know what happened with Yuimiya. I feel like Kazuha has something to do with how things were scaled, because I think Yuimiya is gonna be fucking a bad bitch, a badass, just a real strong as shit, all that. I do think it's because Kazuha can buff the ever-living shit out of your pyro damage and your cryo damage and any other elemental damage you can deal. So to me, and he came right before these two, so to me I think they were kind of built in a way that kind of was like, you're gonna do good damage, but if you want to really fucking hit things hard, Kazuha can give you that ability, because they do seem like they're like a 5k off, and this character is like, that's why I was like, oh, when I seen that they gave her 200 crit rate, or crit damage, sorry, and 400 crit rate, but 200 crit damage, that's a lot. That's a lot. And what do you call it? The weapon they gave her has 60% crit damage. So unless you have a critical damage weapon, you're not gonna get that much crit damage in that way. And also, I was hoping that her ult would be like fucking tanky, like pack some punch. Yeah, like but her ult, it's good. It's hitting for like 8k, I think. But I thought mine was hitting for more. Maybe like in the test run. Maybe it's because like Venti weakened them with Swirl with Various and Veneer, maybe. Okay, I just want to see what both of these characters will affect melt, basically. So I'm like, eh. Anyways, let's choose Shang Ling. What is that dealing? I can't see. Nope, hit the thing. 8K, same as her one hit. Yeah, so like 8K bonus bonus damage is not that crazy, you know. So it's kind of like, okay, well, guys, I'll be honest. I'm still gonna go all in, but I will say, I do think, yeah. I mean, 12K is okay, but it just doesn't seem. But also, this is the other thing. They might have her not built well for this. But you know, 200K damage, and also a pyro cup, and also the new artifact set in her. Yeah. So like, you know, and 12K was the highest we really seen. So, you know, ooh, oh, a little. I go golly, and she had level 8 talents, my dudes. I think, or was it level 7? I think it was level 8. I could be wrong, but regardless, yes. Let's go see Sayu. Sayu's the other character I wanted to see. Yikes! I am still going. I'm full committed at this point, but I'm a little worried, and I honestly think, like, I know I haven't played her yet. But just that's weird. My fucking Razor can hit for like 24K to 31K without any help. Well, sorry, 24K I think is Zhongli's shield, so 20% decrease to physical shred, which is not that much. I mean, I can get really high if I go super conduct, which is easy to have with him. So yeah, and also he never ever has downtime, ever. So I'm lost on the idea of why Yoimiya has limiters, basically. Like, I thought it was because her alt was like support based, because like if you just forgot about her E, you could just build her for a support, and because she is a support, that means she can't be that good of a DPS. But plenty of characters are like that. So it's weird. I think she will be the death by 1,000 cuts kind of character, but it is weird that seeing her with 200 crit rate, with a 40 crit rate, or sorry, crit damage, 200 crit damage, and a Pyro Cup, and the new artifact set that buffs her normal attack damage with when she activates her E, which means you don't have your ult. So it's like a trade for damage, but it's not a trade that surpasses my no trade with the Pale Wind set, or Pale Flame set for Razor, 4-star character.
Plus no downtime.
It's a little like, oh, And to me, it's less of me being like, I'm not gonna go for Sayu or Yoimiya, goddamn. But it's more me being like, what the fuck happened? Like, why is she built in this way that seems quite neutered in comparison to every other previous DPS? Just like, oh, you have something against like Inazuma or Japan, or like the inspiration of that shit? I don't know, but Christ. Anywho, good old Sayu. So Sayu is what a lot of people are just wanting, because again, supports are worth their weight in gold in Genshin Impact. So of course Sayu is also voiced by lovely Lily Pichu, so that should be fantastic. But how do they build her? I'm actually really curious. Yes, a shit ton of elemental mastery, which is awesome. Again, you don't really need a lot of crit rate or crit damage when it comes to elemental mastery, because Swirl can't crit. So you're just looking for Swirl and maybe like attack percentage a little bit, and maybe like Animo damage. Does she have an Animo Cup on her? She doesn't. Odd. Oh yeah, but that's also the hand. You can either go high elemental mastery or high elemental damage bonus. Either or. It seems like they just threw her on as much elemental mastery as she can possibly attain. Not true, but yeah. Also, they gave her an energy recharge weapon, of course, and her artifact sets, yes, are this. So this is, I think, Sayu's best set. Of course, the reason why is because she predominantly does Animo damage as well as Swirl damage, especially if you build her for Elemental Mastery, and the way her kit kind of works. And this is the big thing with Sayu. I really would love to get a lot of Sayus. The reason why is because with each fundamental constellation, which is a 4-star, so you're likely to get there. There's a reason why I didn't show Yoimiya's constellations. It's because I don't think it's really fair or like good to base her on what you could get if you spent a copious amount of money. Anywho, especially when you could buy like a 4-star that is just as good. Anyways, talking about 4-stars. Well, before we get into her constellations, let's talk about her talents, which I haven't been explaining. So, it's crazy that they bring their talent level all the way to 8. They used to bring them only level 6. So that even makes Yoimiya's like showcase even lesser because you can only get 2 more ticks of damage, which is really not great. Anywho, you can still make her work, I'm sure. But so her E is very, very simple. She turns into a ball and just starts rolling around, and she deals animo damage. And if you hold charge it, she can imbue that roll with an element, same as Venti's swirl, but instead it's a physical kind of controllable weird ball, ninja girl, all that. We'll showcase that in a minute. But this is what I think Sayu is kind of built and pressure pointed to be, like pushed in that direction. But basically, she summons forth this weird, like Toys R Us inflatable punching bag, right? Kind of sways back and forth. Regardless, this thing can deal animo damage and also heal you, similar to Bennett. So how Bennett works is if you reach a certain health threshold, 70%, past that point, you will start dealing amplified damage because you'll share his damage with you. But if you're under that point, it will heal you. This is the same thing entirely. The thing I'm not sure is if Sayu will basically always heal you to 70% and then stop, or if when you eventually get this second constellation, or the first constellation, sorry, which takes off the restriction or limiter. So your thing, just like Bennett, will both now heal you and give you the attack at the same time. There's no fighting over it. So if you can get C1 Sayu, that's going to be a lot more fun and a lot less weird, like mitigation of your damage output and whatnot. Anywho, this just increases the scaling of her like kick and whatnot, which is very good, I would assume. But the thing I want to kind of get to, this one's also fantastic. This kind of creates Sayu as a Energizer Bunny, where when Sayu triggers a swirl effect, she gives you a 1.2 energy for your whole team, which is fantastic. I'm assuming that's not an animo energy thing, but just a general particle, which is worth even more, which is great. And then we have this. This is what makes Sayu really interesting to me, and makes me think, oh shit, Sayu could become like a fucking big boy damage dealing pet, which is awesome. Also, apparently her pet follows you, which is insane. Oz doesn't do that. Albedo's Leaf doesn't do that. That's awesome. Just to not have to deal with the bullshit is great. Anyways, what this does is Sayu kind of has this weird thing where she can kind of scale off of attack percent for her HP and whatnot, but with this, it makes it no competition. You should always build Sayu for as much elemental mastery as you possibly can, scaling up your little buddy's damage up to 400%, which is entirely unattainable at this point because you need a stupid amount of elemental mastery to the point where it's just unattainable. But also, if you get a lot of elemental mastery, even if it's just like a 50% damage bonus to your little fucking companion's damage, that's amazing. So anyways, it also increases her healing. So if you have elemental mastery and high regard, you're both going to get more damage for your ult and more damage for your healing. So she's going to become amazing and maybe in some ways better than Bennett, because Bennett amplifies your damage, but Sayu will just do a shit ton of damage on her own, which is also incredibly good. And you don't have to have one without the other. You can have both, considering it seems like your little teddy bear scales off of attack percent, and the fact that Bennett shares that with others seems like they can go hand in hand, although maybe too much healing on one team, but still. But yes, this seems great. It also makes sense why Diona's in her party. The only thing, and this is the big pooba for her being a little bit less good, is this. Unlike Bennett, she has a pretty hefty amount of downtime, and I don't know what it is with both of these characters and all of the characters. Even Ayaka has this problem where their cooldowns are fucking nuts. And it's like the juice isn't worth the squeeze if there's like 8 seconds of not being able to use the character's ability. Which is incredibly unfortunate. But anyways, her duration is 12 seconds and her cooldown is 20, meaning there's a hefty bit of like 7 seconds of just sitting there, not being able to heal, not being able to deal damage, and that sucks. Hate shit like that. Wish they would fix it. I don't think they are. Anywho, the other thing that's weird about Sayu is that whenever you trigger a swirl effect, it's going to give you 300 free HP, just bang, right outright. Pretty dope, awesome. Also, it scales, she will heal an additional 1.2% based on the amount of elemental mastery you have, so that can actually be quite good. As long as you have generally any sort of elemental animo swirl happening, she's going to be healing. That's fantastic. And lastly, she heals based on proximity. So if somebody's in the healing like radius for your little teddy bear, but they're like a couple feet away and they're outside of the radius, if you're close to them, it will kind of shock chain connect you to and heal you that way, which is also nice. And this is also what makes Sayu like worth her weight in gold. Basically, stupid little butterflies and stupid like the thing like the condensed resin, those little weird like floaty other butterflies, they will not run from Sayu. So you can just collect them and they won't like fly the hell away and it'd be a nightmare to collect. So she is also worth at least getting one of her just for making your life a lot easier, frankly. But I do want to see what her basic attack combination is. It's fantastic. It's great. I don't think you'll be using this or seeing this very much at all. Anywho, but then there's also this, my friends. Let's do it. Boom! So you can just do like a quick hit, and it is based off of how long you hold it down. So you can hold it down for a long time, but it will increase the cooldown of it. So you can do a quick kick too. Boom, quick kick. It still lasts a long time. I almost feel like you're still worth playing in it a little bit, like doing this, and getting out of it. Yeah, but you can just prolong it if you desire. But anywho, let's play with Sayu. Let's also do her roly-poly thing because I want to see. Also, we're now imbued with fire, pyro, I think. That's so fun. And that also feels pretty good, yeah, because you're constantly detonating elemental damage. And also, you must gain a shit ton of energy. Although this is always kind of fucky because the energy you get in here is lies, simply put. But let's do this and let's do this. So now we're always gonna be swirling and yeah, and we can also do roly-poly again because we took enough time. But yeah, how much damage are you dealing? So I want to see that. Also your kick, I can't see the damage. Yeah, see, but then we got 4 seconds of just waiting here. This sucks. That part worries me. That part makes me like, why are all the characters like this? Oh, I can't see the damage number? Okay, there, 400. 400. Yeah, even with Swirl. Yeah, I feel like he should be doing more damage because they have him for like 700 damage. So why is he not hitting hard enough? Weird. I mean, things do seem like they're weirdly dying. It's just not... Like, both Ayaka and the last couple of characters haven't been like, okay, I get it. You know, it's been kind of like, why are they limited? I don't know. Weird. Let's do Boba. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do this. So we just keep spamming our abilities, and we start roly-polying around. Yeah, weirdly, her fucking roll seems like cracked, and everything else seems kind of like okay, just fine. Yeah, that if you just use her, like, I was not expecting her alt or like this to be the synergy of her kit at all, as you guys can probably tell. I'm a little like, what the fuck is happening? Yeah, the amount of like swirl happening is insane on screen. So it's like weirdly, I feel like her swirl, yeah. So she felt a lot better there, but you're utilizing her as like a weird secondary DPS. So is that what they're trying to do with Yuimiya and Sayu? Or like you're supposed to use Yuimiya and then on her downtime you just switch to Sayu, activate her ult, and then just start rolling around? Because that was actually like pretty good, but like you don't deal good damage, but her roll does. Like, we were fucking killing shit. Interesting. I can't wait to experiment with this shit. Anyway, she's cute as a button. Also, Lily Pichu just seems like wonderful. Love them both. Them and Michael, or her and Michael. They seem fantastic. But yeah, again, Sayu, to me, it's weird. Sayu felt better damage-wise than Yuimiya in every regard, in terms of even like the scaling of damage. Like there, like I felt like I was melting things when I was playing Yuimiya, or Sayu, sorry. When I was playing Sayu there, we were spinning and using the supports and everything was melting. Felt fucking good. But I don't know, maybe that was also it, is just they gave us decent supports like Kaya and Shengling. Maybe they just didn't give us a lot of good supports, because I remember I felt like a Yuimiya felt better in the story mission, which is weird, but that's because I brought in like Ventis and Xingqius. Which felt significantly better. And again, I do think that's weirdly where Yuimiya is she does seem like she weirdly needs help when it comes to like damage and things. But it's like you don't have to have one or the other. You can have a great DPS, but also just have like an amazing support DPS. So the fact that she's both makes me feel like she's limited in a way. And honestly, I don't mind the fact that she's not dealing damage. There's ways to amplify your damage in the game, better artifacts, although they gave her really good ones. The thing that I don't like is that her cooldowns are long as shit, and it just seems like, well, wait, I want to play this character, and why can't I? Sub DPS? Didn't say that, or did they say that she was a sub DPS? I don't remember. Hi guys, me here in post and or in editing. Okay, so if they are a sub DPS like a Hu Tao, what is with their damage? Because if they are a sub DPS, that's totally fine, but the reason a sub DPS is a sub DPS is because, hey, we have a little bit of time to deal damage, but we're going to deal a lot of damage in that time. Yuimiya does not do that damage. If she does, and if you see it, it is because of Vaporize and Elemental Mastery and synergy within a team, not by herself. So why is she a secondary DPS if her damage is that neutered? If she is that, she should be like a Hu Tao, where yes, there's a downtime, but when you're up, you're fucking up. And that's not the case. So, yeah. I am a little, yeah. We'll see what comes in the future, but we'll make it work anyways. But yeah, I don't know. I really hope just playing her in the test run, I'll get her in hopefully a couple minutes here, if I'm lucky enough. Jesus Christ. But I like her a lot. I think the mechanics were fun. I weirdly walked away thinking Sayu was stronger, which was different, especially considering that was C1 Sayu. So if her roly-poly is pretty good, I definitely feel like that's the way they were meant to play. That makes more sense now. Like Kazuha, I do think is a contributing factor for why Yoimiya and both Ayaka are not doing like fucking silly damage outside of specific instances of like their ult. But I do think Yoimiya like almost synergizes perfectly with Sayu, because her role is actually chunking things. It almost seems like there's not an elemental limit on it. You know how when you activate an element, there's like a 2-second window? It feels like that's not there with Sayu when she's rolling around. I don't know. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, still rolling. Still rolling. A little terrified, but be honest. I want to get a lot of Sayus. I would like one Yuimiya, although I do hear rumors about Ganyu coming back, and to get Ganyu is one of the most aesthetic characters in the game that I love to pieces, and hopefully her banner's not shit like last time. And yeah. Anywho, guys, I'm just talking your ear off, forgive me, but hopefully you guys do enjoy the rest of your day. Let me know what you guys thought about Yuimiya. I still think she's usable, etc. I think people are going a little nuts. I do think, I'm just curious what you guys think about Ayaka and Yuimiya, because they don't feel stronger than my Razor, or stronger than my other characters, or stronger than Shao did, you know? Yeah, and I'm interested in what you guys say, because that's where I'm at. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for your time. Hopefully you guys do enjoy the rest of your day. Subscribe button's over there to my right. Thank you once again. And if you managed to like or share the video, appreciate you so much. Thank you and goodbye.